get down to those points where we need to enter into a deeper union. And the deeper union that we basically need to touch in on is that union which both pertains to that whole journey into the human wholeness, which has to do with our core wounding. But in addition to that, we have a journey which basically moves us back to a direct union with the elements. And when I say the elements, I mean the 5 elements of space, fire, water, air, and earth. So our connection with the elements, our relationship with the elements awaits a healing as well. And I'm saying this because if we are to get to a place where we can be in the paradox of both allowing the taming of the wildness that comes in towards the softness, and to hold that at the same time as being able to hold a certain extent of the wildness, so that we are, in fact, the wildness of her, but at the same time, the softness. If this is supposed to take place, then we need to move beyond those places inside where our subtle imbalances are in regards to the elements. And this is an incredible journey for one, but it's also an incredibly important journey, so to speak, because a lot of that straightening out that happens actually brings us to a place where we can allow the wildness to take a seat in us without, for one, the trauma and the wounding coming in as someone sweeping in behind that wildness, grasping that wildness and becoming someone wild. You see, the beauty of the wildness itself, the beauty of the wildness of your essence, awaits your emptying out. And for the system, your system, to be able to handle the wildness of her nature, you need to align yourself to these 5 elements. It's a significant aspect which comes along with our ability to soften and take full responsibility for the wildness that arises also. In this, I'm saying that it is not in our taming of that energy, it is not to make the wildness wrong. There is nothing wrong with the wildness. But what we need to know is that if we cannot be empty in the face of this wildness, then everything which lies beneath the surface, all of these twists and turns of trauma or of the basic core wounding of the identity that lies in the ground, is likely to grasp this wildness and with it create chaos. What I'm finding is that with the alignment of the elements, with the alignment also of really coming into fully hold and taking that journey to come to fully hold the inner wounding, we move ourselves beyond that. We move ourselves to a place where all of a sudden the part of resting into the wildness is not followed by chaos, is not followed by trouble, basically. But it's stages we need to go through, and as long as we are in a place inside where we grasp the power, call it me, and become someone wild, as long as it's that, we need to continuously surrender the wildness into that softness. So this was just a few words about the nature of this, and also the occurrence of that which seems contradictory, like the softness is in fact the taming in a way, and the wildness, they are not mutually exclusive. It is possible to be wild and soft. It is not possible to be wild and soft as long as we have bits and pieces of self-protection inside of us. Bits and pieces of protecting that self, which in turn is separation from the totality, separation from the wholeness.